Y'all, the latest bombshell to hit the music industry comes from none other than singer Blu Cantrell. Now, if you're not familiar with Blu, let me give you a quick refresher. She was a big deal back in the early 2000s with hit songs like Hit 'Em Up Style, Oops, and Breathe. But here's where things get wild. Blu is now speaking up about some seriously shady stuff that allegedly went down between her, Jay Z, and Diddy. According to Blu, when she was just starting out in the industry, Jay Z allegedly pimped her out to Diddy. I know, it sounds absolutely crazy, right? But hold on, because there's more to this story. Blu isn't just making accusations, she's coming with receipts, people. She's not only trying to prove that she was a victim, but she's also hinting that Beyonce allegedly went out of her way to ruin Blu's career over it. Talk about a messy situation. Now, before we dive deeper into Blu's claims, let's rewind a bit and look at the bigger picture. There's been a lot of wild stories popping up lately about Diddy and Jay Z, and honestly, it's been a whole mess. I'm not saying all these claims are facts, because let's be real, some people might just be chasing clout. But there are a few things being said that definitely make you wonder what really went down behind closed doors in the music industry. So let's break down Blu's story. Back in the late 90s, Blu Cantrell and Jay Z were pretty tight. They were so close that people were wondering if there was more to it than just music. At the time, Blu was doing her thing as a backing vocalist for some heavy hitters like Diddy. It didn't take long for industry execs to realize how talented she was and that she had the potential to make it big in Hollywood. That's when L.A. Reid swooped in, signing her to Arista Records thinking she was the next big thing. By 2001, Blu had released her debut album, So Blu, and it was a banger. The album shot up to number 8 on the Billboard 200, had multiple top 10 hits on the Hot 100, and she even got 2 Grammy nominations that year. Oh, and did I mention the album went gold in only 2 weeks? She was on fire, and everybody believed she was going to make it big in Hollywood. But here's where things started getting crazy. Around the same time Blu and Jay Z were getting all cozy, Jay was also making moves on Beyonce, trying to lock her down. So was he out here playing both sides? Well, the streets are saying that Jay Z was hedging his bets, keeping Blu as a backup in case Beyonce wasn't feeling him like that. Remember, he had just been burned by Aaliyah, so he wasn't about to put all his eggs in one basket. Sneaky, but also maybe smart. Anyway, in 2003, Blu dropped her second album, and it was around the same time that Beyonce released her debut solo album, Dangerously in Love. And you know what happens when 2 artists drop fire around the same time, right? It's rivalry season, baby. Things got tense between Beyonce and Blu, and it was on from there. Not only were they competing for the attention of the same man, but their beef spilled into the music scene too. Now, Blu kept insisting that there was nothing romantic going on between her and Jay Z, claiming they were just friends who worked on music together. But let's be real for a millisecond, nobody was buying it. People thought she was just trying to save face and avoid the messy drama that happens when 2 celebrities get romantically involved, especially when it's a love triangle.
No. No, I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
Oh, she's touching him up the neck! Look! You see?
Why do people not want to let the Jay Z Blu Cantrell thing go?
Because, honey, that was a fabulous little high point in your career.
The rumors really escalated when Blu sat down for an interview with Miss Wendy Williams. Y'all know Wendy didn't hold back. She always asked the tough questions and never let her guests off easy. That's exactly why we loved her, even though she was messy as hell. So Wendy straight up asked Blu if she'd ever kissed Jay Z or had any romantic dealings with him. This was Blu's perfect chance to squash the rumors once and for all. But what did she do? Sis laughed and completely sidestepped the question, basically pouring gasoline on the rumor fire instead of putting those whispers to bed.
What, me and him?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're above 25.
Why, he needs somebody younger than that?
At the end of the day, yeah.
Why did you say that?
Because I think at the end of the day, a younger, less savvy to the ways of the world broad.
Somebody a little bit more naive.
You said it, not me.
You good at,
Do you know what I mean?
good at making me say things.
Now, at the time, we thought Blu was being unnecessarily shady towards Beyonce. But from what she's now saying about the freak-offs she was allegedly forced into, it seems like she was actually talking about herself. Because according to Blu, she was quite naive back then. Naive to the point where she was allegedly pimped out and didn't realize it until it was too late. But just because she wasn't throwing shade doesn't mean things weren't messy between her and Beyonce at the time. Both women could barely stand each other. Over the next few years, Blu cranked things up a notch by accusing Beyonce of straight up stealing her visuals and passing them off as her own. For example, when Beyonce and Jay Z dropped the music video for 03 Bonnie and Clyde, Blu was quick to claim that they had copied her video for Roundup, and it didn't stop there. When Beyonce released Baby Boy featuring Sean Paul, Blu came out swinging again, accusing B of copying her since she had dropped her own song Breathe with Sean Paul before Beyonce's hit. And then there was the juicy speculation about Beyonce throwing some subtle shade at Blu in her song Signs. In the track, Beyonce sings, "I wish he was a Virgo, the same sign as me. Yeah, I know how to show me love because I've been hurt by a Pisces." Now here's where it gets spicy. Jay Z is a Sagittarius, Beyonce is a Virgo, and Blu Cantrell, yeah, you guessed it, she's a Pisces. So naturally, fans tried to connect the dots and started to believe that Beyonce was low-key admitting that Jay Z cheated on her with Blu. Things got even messier when Blu gave an interview to The Guardian. When asked about Beyonce, her response cranked the drama up to a whole new level. She said, "I'm an adult, she's younger. If she's doing what you're saying, then she's being a little immature. Maybe she's trying to do it to get press, but I want to make her understand if she goes there with me, it's the wrong move. She needs to understand what she's doing and what she's getting into." Blu also tried to drag Jay Z into it, saying, "If she is being negative, she doesn't need to be because she's a beautiful girl. But if you have issues with your man, address it with the guy. Don't take it out on the girl. It's never the way to go." Well, that interview was definitely the final straw that broke the camel's back. After that, Blu Cantrell's career took a nosedive. She never released another album or even another single after that, which is wild considering how talented she is and how successful her first two albums were. Both were Grammy nominated and charted well, so her sudden disappearance from the music scene felt super strange and a little bit too calculated. Then in late 2013, Blu announced that she was working on a third album after leaving her label, calling herself a free agent. But that album never saw the light of day. In 2014, she was hospitalized due to what was described as a mental breakdown. The whole situation was just sad and left everybody wondering what really happened to her. She was found on the streets of Santa Monica, California at 2 a.m., screaming about how someone had tried to unalive her with some sort of poisonous gas. She was eventually taken to the hospital for evaluation. Even though folks in the industry tried to brush Blu's situation off as just another mental breakdown, and some even hinted it might have been drug-induced, fans weren't buying it. They couldn't help but notice how creepily similar this was to what happened to actor Martin Lawrence, who also had a mysterious breakdown that left people with more questions than answers. Fans quickly pointed out that this didn't seem like a coincidence, but rather something much deeper and more unsettling.
Blu. The first Blu. Not they daughter Blu. Blu Cantrell. You were singing, boo, and you made a choice to work with someone, and you probably didn't realize how nefarious he was when you got involved with him. I didn't. Blu, it's time to talk. It's time for you to sing again, because I know you still got the chops. You got the gift, just like me. Jay Z worked very hard to erase you and me. Just like he did L. Just like he did his relationship with R. Kelly. Just like he did his relationship with Aaliyah. Blu, it's time to talk.
Now, it seems like Jaguar Wright's words really hit home for Blu because she's finally ready to speak about what really went down. She's spilling all the tea on how a certain powerful someone allegedly got her fired from her label as an act of revenge. Blu's here to let the world know that her disappearance from the spotlight wasn't by choice, it was all orchestrated. According to an insider, Blu is now claiming that it was allegedly Beyonce, who tried to unalive her back in 2014. The source says that Beyonce had reportedly had enough of Blu talking about her and the rumored affair with Jay Z and decided to take drastic measures to silence her for good. If this is true, then this drama just went from 0 to 100 real fast. But that's not all. According to Blu, whatever she had going on with Jay Z wasn't consensual because he and Diddy had her in an impossible situation. See, at the beginning of her career, she also worked as a backup singer for Diddy. And according to her, it was during this time that Jay Z and Diddy started acting weird towards her. She claimed that both men allegedly forced her into some seriously messed up and freaky stuff. When Beyonce found out, the only thing she saw was Blu getting involved with her man, which led to the beef between her and Beyonce. Blu was referring to this in her Wendy Williams interview where she claimed that Jay Z went after naive young women. But here's the kicker. Blu is far from being the only woman that Jay Z has allegedly pimped out to Diddy. Rihanna's former publicist claimed that the feds once interrogated him about Jay Z using his label as a front to allegedly traffic women. He said, "One day, unmarked law enforcement cars stopped me. The intimidating individuals introduced themselves as a federal task force and they requested to speak with me." He continued, "They mentioned that they had been keeping a close watch on Jay Z since Lance owned Rivera, and he was also being implicated in an incident with R. Kelly during their joint tour promoting Jay Z and R. Kelly's joint album. The officers clarified that they were investigating Jay Z for allegedly engaging in intimate activity with underage Rihanna and transporting her across international borders. They said she wasn't the only one and there were many others." Now, as shocking as all this is, Blu is claiming she's not Beyonce's only victim. She claimed that Beyonce is obsessed with making sure Jay's mistresses know their place and face severe consequences for messing with her man, even when Beyonce knows they were allegedly victims who didn't have an affair out of their own free will. Blu Cantrell also pointed out how strange it is that Rihanna is the only woman who allegedly had an affair with Jay Z and came out on top. Apparently, Beyonce tried to take Rihanna down too, but it didn't work because Rihanna was smart enough to win the favor of some very powerful people in the industry. On top of all that, Blu claimed that Beyonce is allegedly Jay Z's handler and that she keeps him in line, not the other way around like most people think. There have been several reports suggesting that Jay Z keeps Beyonce high and on drugs to make it easier to control her and keep her under his thumb. However, Blu was calling BS on that whole narrative, saying it's all an act from Beyonce to hide the fact that she is the one with all the power in the marriage and that Jay Z is just a puppet in her hands. Blu is also dropping names of other artists who were allegedly ruined by Beyonce, and singer Maya is one of the names that Blu dropped. Despite Maya's immense talent and impressive accolades, fans couldn't help but notice that her career didn't quite reach the heights everybody anticipated. So there you have it, besties. A whole lot of tea about the alleged dark side of the music industry. From Blu Cantrell's shocking claims about Jay Z and Diddy to the rumors surrounding Beyonce's power moves behind the scenes. It's clear that there's a lot more going on in Hollywood than meets the eye. What do you think about all these allegations? Do you believe Blu's claims? Or do you think there's more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get the conversation going. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more juicy Hollywood gossip. This is Sophie Scoop signing off. Bye. Signing off. Bye.